So I had this genius idea, or maybe it was a bad one. I tried turning 2D concept art into 3D in one day. Why? Because apparently I enjoy paint. But there's a catch. There are thousands of concept arts online, and every time I see one, my brain goes, "Yup, I want to make that." So, instead of exploring, I'm starting a whole series where I turn awesome 2D art into 3D environments. You'll get tips, techniques, behind the scenes chaos, and probably a few moments where I question my life choices. Alright, enough talking, let's start this madness. First, finding a concept art. And where do I find them? Pinterest. There are so many ideas in this platform that makes my mind blown. So, I started downloading those arts and picked one of them to turn them into 3D. Also, I made a to-do list to make this render quickly and in a structural way. Let's get started. Starting with asset collection. I subdivided this plane 100 times and used a stone floor material from Blender Kit, adjusted the displacement value to get the feel of a stone floor. The pillars I used are also from Blender Kit. Moving to step 2, trees. I used multiple different trees from Blender Kit and scattered them around the scene. To keep it optimized, I used Decimate Modifier to get rid of extra vertices. Step 3, stairs. I found a 3D scanned stair model in Blender Kit, placed it and scaled it where I think it best matches the reference, brought another stair and used its handrail. I think that's what you call it. Handrail. Yeah. Anyway, here is my stair. Now comes the main hero, Rune Stone. This was the most fun for me as this was the first time I used sculpting. So I was just rolling through it, trying different tools, carving the runing symbol by whichever tool helps best, and eventually I made it. And trust me, this is perfectly looking just like the one in the reference, and I am happy with it. So I'll leave it at that. After that comes texturing the rune stone. Used a simple rock texture from Blender Kit and I adjusted its color to match the reference. Then I made a mask through texture painting for the rune to glow. I duplicated the same rock texture and added emission to this one. And there we have our rune stone. Now it's time to texture the columns. Used a rocky stone texture that has cracks in it and used the same rune stone texture on it. Also did some texture painting on it too so that the column looks like it is in parts and has cracks on the joint areas. There we have it, our column. Now comes next, weight painting. I added weight paint in a way that it would look like the grass is growing between the gaps of the stone. Next step, ivy. I added some basic ivy planes from Blender Kit, changed their shapes so they all look like they are wrapped around the columns. Now comes scatter on surface. Used the new scatter on surface modifier to scatter grass around the scene. Removed a few extra vertices for optimization. Now comes the hero selection. For my hero, I wanted a character that looks like a strong traveler in an adventure. So again, I searched for my hero in Blender Kit and I found him. Placed him in the scene where I felt right and done. We have our hero. Now comes shadows. Before getting to the final lighting, I first started on the shadows. For the shadows, I added a plane and placed it so that the foreground is not lit up. After that, lighting. For the lighting, I added 3 spotlights, one for the hero, one for the pillar beside him, and one for the rune stone, to achieve the best contrast of lighting with the environment. Now comes depth of field. We are almost at the finish line. I added a depth of field in the scene, changing the parameters of the distance value and f-stop wherever I feel right. I also added a few grass around the base of the camera to achieve more realism. Adjusted the lighting on the rune stone and changed the location of few trees for the final touch. Now for the final step, compositing. First I added a vignette node to darken the edges of the frame. Then a color balance node for color grading. Then added a glare node for bloom and then another glare node for streaks. I made sure that I didn't go overboard with the settings, then I added another glare node for bloom. After that, I played with the setting of these nodes until I was satisfied with the color composition. And in the end, I added lens distortion. Since every camera in the world has lens distortion in it, played with the settings until it felt right. And there you go. We have our final render. To be honest, this was very easy and fun for me. Through this render, I got to try sculpting, which was a very new tool for me since I never used sculpting before in my 3 years of experience. Honestly, making new amazing environments really helps me a lot to learn more new stuff. And you can too if you keep challenging yourself. If you made it to the end, please like this video and subscribe and keep supporting my channel. It would be very kind of you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.